Hey, what's up, universe? It's 7:19 a.m. Central Time on Sunday, October 29th, 2023. So I've been thinking about what to say in this particular video, because it could be pretty long. This could be a lengthy video. The inspiration for the video are some of the comments from my last video or two, and specifically from my middle sister. Just because there's just things that I would like to speak to around things that are in her comment, and understandably so, in a way of like, I understand where she's coming from and I understand her perspective and view, and while I don't agree with it, the reason I don't agree with it is not because I'm looking to be antagonistic or confrontational. It's instead because of my philosophical belief, my study of history, and the study of the laws that I've looked into, and the insights that I believe that I've gained through the research that I have done. And so to kind of package that together and to illustrate why I think what I think and believe what I believe could be a lengthy discourse, because it's not a short journey. To arrive to the conclusions that I've arrived at, to get to the point where I've gotten to, took a long time of research. It took a lot of working through my own cognitive dissonance, and what I mean by that is that the information that I have basically encountered definitely challenged my original beliefs. It challenges the official narrative. It runs contradictory to what we are taught, what we learned, what most of society believes, because of what we have been taught collectively and what we've been learned, or what we have learned collectively. And it's an interesting thing because there's a vested interest for these things to exist. And what I mean by these things is that, like, these certain narratives, these certain perspectives, these certain views, these certain beliefs, and these certain philosophies, the official package of those things, there's a vested interest in why they exist. And then not only that, once that type of system is created, the system will police itself. And what I mean by that is that it becomes more of a challenge and more difficult for people to break out or break free from the official narrative or from the official system, because the collective will police itself. So this interaction right here between, like, we'll say that my sister's response to me is a prime example of that, right? Obviously my sister has a different view than what I have, and the energy in her response to my video and to my beliefs and my philosophy are not supportive, right? They're I don't want to say antagonistic, but there's a certain flavor that really could take the legs out from a lot of people, right? Basically, I have to challenge that. I have to be okay with my sister having that point of view, and I have to be grounded and solid in that kind of difference of opinion, in all of the energy that comes from having that kind of difference of opinion. I have to be grounded and okay with how that impacts my relationships across the board, both in the sense of employment opportunities, and also within my family dynamics, how I fit into society. Like, there's a whole thing, right? Like I said, that once the system is in place, the collective polices itself. So to stand against the norm or the tradition or the collective requires an extreme amount of fortitude. It takes an extreme amount of resilience for an individual, because that's what it comes down to, is an individual to stand against the collective. And it's not because the individual is looking to challenge the collective, rather that the individual is looking to challenge the story that the collective is perpetuating. And I feel like it's extremely healthy to have the freedom to be able to challenge those things. And it's not without its consequences, right? And I'm absolutely willing and okay with the consequences of challenging the narrative, right? Like I said in my previous video, I'm not worried about the tax warrant. I'm not worried about these things that have come to me, or the consequences of my exploration. Those things don't concern me. The much more difficult thing for me is navigating the relationship changes, is having the resilience to keep experiencing the rebuff, or the discord within relationships that I do value. You know, that's way harder for me than worrying about a man-made structure of government having an opinion in a certain view and taking certain actions that I could really care less about. You know, so being served a tax warrant and having the Kansas Department of Revenue, you know, take actions that they feel that they need to take is rather inconsequential to me in comparison. Good morning. In comparison to how my relationships have changed. Because the relationships are immediate to me, they're intimate, they're a part of my life, and they just carry way more weight than say some man-made government institution and whatever it feels it needs to do. And to kind of speak to that, you know, there's a reason that I chose the White Lotus as like a company emblem. You know, White Lotus apps. There's a reason I got the shirt White Lotus, and I've spoken about this before in previous Instagram videos. And if you go look up the philosophy and the symbolism of the White Lotus, and it's emblematic of basically what I embody, you know, or I embody those philosophies, or I look to. And the growth through basically, you know, difficulties, there's a beauty to it, you know. It's extremely trying, yet there's a real fruit, there's a real beauty to it. Now, I haven't even gotten to like the meat of my philosophies or any type of how do I want to say illustrative or educational material to I don't want to say support, but to illustrate why I believe what I believe. And I may save that for another video, because like I said, it is not a short, it's not a short course, you know. It takes some time, and I did spend some time this morning kind of putting some things together to be able to speak to that, because it's basically going to go back into, you know, history, and the language is extremely important. Little details are extremely important, and what I mean by that is like, you know, the difference in the capitalization of the word state might seem very insignificant, yet it does play a significant role in this particular journey of mine. Like it's the little details that it's death by 1,000 paper cuts. It's no different than programming, where a comma, a semicolon, something like this could make or break the software. Something, the difference between receiving an error message or not, or having the code run or not. So it's getting into those little details that takes the time, and they're meaningful and significant. So anyway, I will save that for another time. I just wanted to speak to the fact that I understand how the path that I'm on, the philosophies that I have, the views that I have are unorthodox because it's not part of the tradition. It's not part of our official narrative that we've been taught, and what we have been told, and what the larger majority of society would view as true. And I guess I'll just end with that, for me, given the entities that promote these stories and their history of being truthful, it seems to me to make a much more reasonable sense to challenge the official story than to wholesale buy into it. The track record of honesty, and I've spoken about this before in a previous video, is abysmal. And the track record of being opaque, if not outright lying, is like there's a truckload more evidence to support that behavior from those in a position of authority, and that would have a vested interest in keeping a certain image, a certain story, a certain philosophy, a certain narrative in play in the minds of the majority. And that's why I believe it's completely healthy to challenge that, because more times than not, there's been dubious information, if not outright lies. Just on that foundation, I believe that it is a worthy endeavor to challenge the narrative and to really dig in and verify what we've been told. And in this particular specific context, this is a very small piece of a very huge thing, income tax. So, and I'm willing to go through the process so I can figure it out myself and experience it myself and share that with others, because I know that others are definitely curious. There are a lot of people that are very curious about this. So let's find out. And if none of that interests you, and if none of that resonates with you, then that's okay. I'm not going to change my way, and I'm going to continue along my journey, and I'm not going to stop. So at that point, you have a choice whether you continue to stay with me and participate in the journey, even if it's passive, or you can busy yourself with something else, because it's probably healthier than to busy yourself trying to change the trajectory that I'm on, because I'm on my own path. So Anyway, thank you for joining me. Thanks for giving me some time and space. Thanks for being a part of this. And I will keep you guys updated. And I will talk to you later. I love you. Bye.